What's up, YouTube? YuGiOh Tube here with you right before the new year. First of all, Happy New Year, everybody. Second of all, this is going to be a good video because it's going to discuss 5 potential old school cards that could see a big time spike within the next month or two, depending on when the new Forbidden list or ban list comes out. So first, we're going to go through each card first. I'm going to discuss why I think the card could spike, the card could go up, following an announcement of that card being off of a ban list, being onto a ban list, whatever it may be. But these 5 cards, in my opinion, going from 5 to number 1 being the most profitable potential, I am going to go over right now. So the first card we have is the Tribe Infecting Virus from Magician's Force, as well as, did this one as a kind of a duo, Elemental Hero Stratos. Both of those cards, terrible cards, not useful in any deck, supposedly. Again, let me give you a disclaimer. I don't play the game currently, but from everything I research and read, I read that these cards stink. These cards are no longer relevant in the current game. They have no place to be forbidden. Therefore, they should be off the list. If you go in OCG, they are off the list in the OCG ban list, forbidden list. So if they get off the list in the TCG, this is a card that you could see a 25 to 30% spike overnight increase. So keep that in mind. Those 2 cards, Tribe Infecting Virus, Elemental Hero Stratos, 2 good cards to keep an eye on. Stratos, extra bonus points for being an elemental hero. Number 4, Chaos Emperor Dragon Envoy of the End. So this card, again, in the Japanese OCG list, this card is off of the list. It is still forbidden in the US. One thing that kind of was interesting to me was the fact that they re-released the Duelist Pack Kaiba Unlimited form in those Kaiba boxes, those special edition boxes. I say, why? There's not really anything that great in there. Well, there is a Chaos Emperor Dragon Ultimate Rare Envoy of the End. This card should have an errata, and it should be off the ban list. I wouldn't be shocked to see it happen. If it does happen, we're seeing big-time increases. Yes, they're expensive to begin with, and that's why it's only number 4 on my list. Just because, yes, it's going to be pricey. Right now, even if it's on the list, if it's off the list, it's going to be very pricey. But you may not see that huge percent markup that you would in terms of percentage you would in something like a Tribe Infecting Virus, which is a $2 to $3 card, even less an Unlimited Magician's Force, or the Elemental Hero Stratos. There aren't many prints out there. So that is why Chaos Emperor Dragon, number 4 on my list. Number 3, Solemn Judgment Metal Raiders. This card is a way throwback, deadly card. Great card back in the day. A lot of people are talking about it potentially being unbanned. I kind of agree. In a game where supposedly there are a lot of hand traps going on, it is a little bit slow, Solemn Judgment. It is a trap card. It isn't quite as quick as those hand traps. It could be at 1. If it goes to 1, we're seeing a big time increase. Keep in mind, there's a few forms. There's the Metal Raiders, there's a Legendary Collection, and there's a Gold Series Ghost Rare. So the Gold Series Ghost Rare is about a $4 to $5 card right now. Metal Raiders Unlimited, about a $3 to $4 card. Metal Raiders First Edition, a little bit more than that. But there is also, keep in mind, the big one, the Retro Pack 1 Super Rare. That card, as of right now, is by far the most expensive. I believe about $20 to $30. We could see a huge increase specifically on that RPO1 card if Solemn Judgment is to be unbanned. Now taking a look at number 2. Number 2, Pot of Avarice. Why is Pot of Avarice number 2? Well, because in the OCG, I believe you are allowed to have 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe 2 are allowed. And it's a matter of time. A lot of people are talking about how, yeah, I mean, it's a good card. It's a little bit slow, but it's good enough to be in the game. I would not be shocked to see this come in the game. Better than that, why it's at number 2 is the potential growth. We're looking at $1. $1 for a super rare. We're looking at even less than $1 for a super rare from Elemental Energy. Legendary Collection Secret Rares, what does that set you back? $3, $4. And of course, we're looking at a lot more now for the Ultimate Rares from Elemental Energy, as well as the DRO4 Ultras. Those are the ones to pick up right now if you're looking for big-time growth. If you're looking for quantity, you may be better off getting the Elemental Energies for $1. You may be better off getting the secret rare legendary collections for $3. Because at the end of the day, if it gets unbanned, people want one. And if people want one, what's going to happen? You're going to see that price go up no matter what, even if the quantity is so high. That's the only reason why those cards are so low right now, just because the quantity on the market's huge. But guess what? If it gets unbanned, things will change. Look at Imperial Order. What happened with that card? Quantity. It was $1 card. I have invoices. 79 cents for a secret rare Pharaoh Servant. Imperial Order. I was selling them at $15 the next day it came off the ban list. So yes, keep in mind, you might be better off in terms of percent margin and percent return on investment ROI. You might be better off going for the low end $1 secret. I like $3 secrets. I think you could pick up a $3 secret from Legendary Collection. Go for it. The Ultimate is kind of expensive as it is, and the DRO4 is a little bit pricey too. Though you will see, obviously, growth in those if it gets unbanned. But if I were you, I like the risk-reward of the secret rares. $3, what do you got to lose, right? And number one, the one I love the most. This is why it is number one on my list. It is going to be Harpy's Feather Duster. Everyone's like, whoa, that card's not going to be unbanned. Never say never. Never say never, because guess what? If it does, if by that some slim chance this card gets unbanned, Harpy's Feather Duster, then we're talking huge growth. We are talking absolutely huge growth on this card. Now, one thing to note, too. Interestingly, and I have this here. Harpy's Feather Storm. Okay, from Duelist Saga, the only printing of this card. Harpy's Feather Storm. Let's read the effect. Again, this Duelist Saga came out about a year or two ago. Probably a year. It was only a year ago. Okay. If you control a winged beast type monster, until the end of this turn, negate any monster effects your opponent activates. If you control a Harpy monster, you can activate this card from your hand. If this card, it's in its owner's spell and trap card zone, is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can add one Harpy's Feather Duster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Let me read the last sentence one more time. You can add one Harpy's Feather Duster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can add one Harpy's Feather Duster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Why is this card being released in 2016, 2017? Why is this card being released if there is no use for Harpy's Feather Duster? Why is that even an add-in effect? Well, Konami may have said, well, just in case Harpy's Feather Duster comes back, we have this covered. We have it on the effect of Harpy's Feather Storm. Just in case. Well, as we know, in the OCG, Harpy's Feather Duster is not banned. Even Heavy Storm is still banned. Now, there are reasons for that. One, because of the pendulum summoning, and one could use Heavy Storm to actually wipe their board and actually help them with Heavy Storm. So that's the only reason why Heavy Storm is still banned, and Harpy's Feather Duster is not banned in the OCG. But we have to keep in mind, right now, Harpy's Feather Dusters from SDD, Stairway Destiny Duels, or whatever you call, whatever the video game promo was, that's going for $6 to $7 right now. Secret Parallel Rare. There's also a Legendary Collection, I want to say Yugi's World or Joey's World, one of the Legendary Collections as a secret. It's about the same price, about $5 to $6. You have your Battle Pack 1 Black Rare, Black Text Rare, that's pretty cheap. And of course you have your Tournament Pack 8 Super Rare Harpy's Feather Duster, which is absolute absurdity price-wise. It's about 180 to 200, I want to say, in Near Mint Plus. So what's the deal? What I recommend, and this is coming from someone that has 30 copies, 40 copies, I'll have to double check the inventory of Harpy's Feather Duster just lying around just in case, because if it does happen again, it's going to be huge. It is going to be massive growth. And this is wishful thinking, but this is what the speculative market is. This is kind of like the fun. This is the fun market. This isn't the market where you buy a Legend of Blue Eyes and you just hold it for however many years and it just slowly but surely grows, which I like. But this is more like the play money. This is like, all right, if I have money to spare and I have money to just put aside and kind of just throw darts at a dartboard, these are the top 5. These are the top 5 cards that I would throw money at. Number 1, the Harpy's Feather Duster from SDD, Secret Rare promo, video game promo. And as you notice, all of these cards, too, that I actually mentioned, all of these cards are selling at a rapid rate right now online. If you go to eBay, you'll see just major spikes in sales, at least in sales numbers, maybe not prices. But you are seeing the speculative buys already starting to affect the market for the upcoming ban list coming up in 2018. So yes, Harpy's Feather Duster, if it were to ever get unbanned for this ban list, and Konami just says, all right, we're just going to shock the world, we're going to unban it. Kaboom. Kaboom. Absolute kaboom. I'm looking at 25 a pop. That's 3 to 4 times my investment. And that would be stellar. I mean, let's recall when they unbanned Thousand Eyes Restrict, kind of, in a wild fashion. No one ever expected Thousand Eyes Restrict to get unbanned for any reason. They unbanned it overnight. Retro Pack Ultras were $50. You had Master Collection Secrets going for $15. So overnight, cards just skyrocketed. Again, the odds and probability of these kinds of things happening, of any one of these 5 cards or 6 cards, I could say, getting unbanned, not high. Because you're just basically, like I said, trying to pick a needle out of a haystack here in terms of what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. But in terms of probability, odds, statistics, and if you just have extra money to put into these, go right ahead. I think it's fun. It should be fun to see what happens. But those are my top 5. I guess you could say 6 with Stratos. Top 5 to 6 cards. Until next time, Yu-Gi-Oh! 2. Oh, one thing to note before I leave. The card, for people saying, well, the card stinks, like Tribe Infecting Virus, it stinks, no one's going to buy it. That is totally false, even if it's not playable. People will buy it just because of the fact that it is off the ban list. People will still buy it. No matter what it is, people will buy it just because it's off the ban list. I gotta buy it. I gotta get it. And no matter what, I gotta get it. I gotta pay for it. I gotta buy it right away. If you have any of these cards, dump them right away if they do get unbanned. Any card that gets unbanned, dump it right away that day. I mean, time is precious with that kind of stuff. So, but again, let's recall Brain Control. That card was errated. It was a horrible card. Cool artwork on Brain Control, but a horrible card. Okay, and the Ultimates went up to $30, $40 from $4, $5. So yes, the card still stunk, but people bought it anyway. Imperial Order, pretty good card even with the Errata. People were buying like rapid fire. Imperial Order now down the drain again. So again, it's all about timing, and it's all about the hype, and it's all about the news, and it's all about the rumors, and right now, those are my top 5 to 6 cards that you should be keeping an eye on because they have the most potential room for growth. So we'll see what happens. Maybe none of it will happen. Maybe some of it will happen. We'll have to take a look and see. But until that time, we won't know. Happy New Year, everybody. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, give me a message below, a comment below. Give me a like, give me a dislike. What did I miss out on? These are 5 vintage kind of cards, too, so keep that in mind. There are a couple other considerations, but I think overall these cards had the highest potential. Until next time, YuGiOh Tube, signing out.